Welcome back to part 2 of the Imagine Square by Beyond Diary.
And here we are on that last chain 2 in slip stitch in the third stitch of this original chain 5. Don't cut your work here. We're going to continue on with this same color for the next round.
Slip stitch into the next space.
Chain 3. And we're going to skip this V-stitch here and single crochet into the next chain space. Just on the other side of that V-stitch, single crochet. Chain 2. And we're going to create a popcorn stitch in the next chain space before that single crochet attaching the petal. This space here, create a popcorn stitch. That's 4 double crochets. And 4. Pull up a loop on your hook, inserting your finger, and place your hook into the first double crochet. Grabbing that yarn from your finger and pulling it tight, and create a slip stitch there and a chain 2. We're going to create another popcorn stitch into the single crochet where we attached the petal. So 4 double crochets. And 4. Pulling up your loop. Insert your hook into that first double crochet, grab that loop, and slip stitch, chain 2, and yet another popcorn stitch into the next chain space. Chain 2 and a single crochet in the next space before the V-stitch.
And that is our repeat. Continue on and I'll be back in a moment. Slip stitch into the next stitch.
And from here, cut your yarn. We'll change colors from here. On to the next color. And our first stitch will be in the V-stitch behind one of the petals. So this V-stitch, you have these 2 layers here from both the 9th round and the 10th round. We're going to slip stitch through both of those. And then a single crochet in that same stitch. Four double crochets in this chain space before the popcorn stitch. So this space right here, 4 double crochets. Four double crochets in the next space between these 2 popcorns. chain 2, and we'll create a picot here. Insert your hook in these 2 loops at the top of your 3rd and 4th double crochet and slip stitch. 4 double crochets in the next space between the 2 popcorn stitches. Four double crochets in the next chain 2 space of the last popcorn stitch. And 4. Now we're back to that V-stitch, single crochet through both of those. And that creates our first petal of round 11. Continue that sequence, 4 double crochets in the next chain 2 space before the first popcorn. Continue on until all the petals are done. I will be back then. And now we'll make a slip stitch in the top of the single crochet to complete the round. And we'll change colors here, so catch your yarn. This will be a round of attaching these petals. I am using the variegated yarn again. Begin with a slip knot. At the top of any of these popcorn stitches, we'll begin with coming in from the back side. You might have to pull your stitches aside. We're going to come into this single crochet here. At the top of that first popcorn stitch, into that single crochet, we're going to make a slip stitch. Single crochet in that same stitch. Chain 2 and single crochet at the top of the next popcorn stitch. So there's that stitch right there, if you can see it. So coming in from behind and making a single crochet. Chain 2 at the top of the next popcorn will be a single crochet. Chain 2, double crochet at the top of this V-stitch here, the first treble stitch of round 11. But it's this stitch right here at the top of this treble stitch, and like before, we'll come in from behind and grab it from there, making a double crochet. Chain 2, and we'll attach that peach colored petal by inserting our hook into those 2 loops at the back of that picot. Single crochet, and then chain 2, moving this petal aside and double crochet into this stitch here. So coming in from behind, inserting your hook, and creating a double crochet at the top of that treble stitch. And if that's a bit confusing on those double crochet stitches, A stitch from behind in anywhere in that vicinity will work. We're going to chain 2 and a single crochet at the top of that next popcorn stitch. Chain 2, single crochet at the top of the middle popcorn stitch. Chain 2 and single crochet at the top of that last popcorn stitch. Chain 2 and a double crochet at the top of this treble crochet of the V-stitch. So into here, coming in from behind and right into there. And again, it doesn't have to be exactly in that spot, just somewhere in that vicinity. You won't see that double crochet. It'll be hidden in the stitch. So if you can't find that exact stitch, one of these stitches back here will work. Chain 2, and we'll attach that next petal by inserting your hook into these 2 loops at the back of your picot of that petal, and single crochet. And that is our repeat. Chain 2 and continue on until all the petals are attached, and I'll be back then. There we are, that last chain 2, slip stitch into the top of that first single crochet of the beginning of the round. Don't cut your yarn here. We won't be changing colors. Okay, from here we're going to slip stitch into the next chain 2 space and chain 5, which will count as our first double crochet plus chain 2. And 5. In the next chain 2 space, we're going to work a double treble. That's yarn over 3 times. Chain 2 and a double treble back into that same space.
Yarn over 3 times.
Chain 2 and a double treble back in that same space. Chain 2 and another double treble in that same space for a total of 4 double trebles in that chain 2 space. Chain 1 and a double crochet in that next chain 2 space. Chain 2 and a single crochet in the next chain 2 space. Chain 2, single crochet in the next chain 2 space. Chain 2, single crochet in the next chain 2 space. We'll repeat this
3
times for a total of 6. So we'll have a single crochet, chain 2, single crochet in the next chain 2 space, chain 2, and so on for a total of 6. And there's 6. Chain 2, and a double crochet in the next chain space. Chain 1, and that starts our repeat of 4 double treble crochets in the next chain 2 space. There's 1, chain 2, another double treble crochet in that same space, chain 2, the third double treble crochet in that same space, chain 2, and your last double treble in that same space. And there's 4 double trebles with a chain 2 between each one. Chain 1 and a double crochet in the next chain 2 space. Chain 2, and then that starts our single crochets again. In 1 single crochet in the next stitch, chain 2, 1 single crochet in the next stitch, and do that for 6 single crochets. I will meet back up with you when we're all finished with the round. Okay, here we are on that 6th single crochet. Chain 2, and place a slip stitch in that 3rd chain from the beginning chain 5. We're going to change colors here. And tying off that color there. This next round we'll be squaring off, and I'm going with the peach here. Start with a slip knot, and we'll begin right directly in the middle of one of these corners here. So you have the 2 doubles on the side and then the 4 double trebles in the middle. We will go 2 double trebles in,
Insert your hook,
and place a slip stitch. Chain 3, which counts as our first double crochet. Place another double crochet in that same chain 2 space. Chain 2, and 2 more double crochets in that same chain 2 space. Two double crochets in the next chain 2 space,
and 2 double crochets in each space until we reach the petal from a previous round. And I will meet you there.
1 double crochet in the next chain 2 space, and we're going to attach the petal here. So like before, we're going to insert our hook into these 2 loops at the bottom of that coat on that petal, and place a single crochet and a double crochet in that same chain 2 space.
Place 2 double crochets in each stitch until we reach the corner. And I'll meet you there.
And here we are up to the middle of this next corner here, so place 2 double crochets in that chain 2 space, chain 2, and 2 more double crochets in that same chain 2 space. Two double crochets in the next chain 2 space.
That is our repeat. Continue on like this.
Making sure to attach your petals as you go around. And I'll be back in a moment. And here we are on those last 2 double crochets. And attaching that last petal, insert the hook into those 2 loops on the back. Create a single crochet. And then slip stitch into the 3rd chain of that beginning chain 3. And that finishes this round. We're going to change colors. And we have a square now. Going with the medium color orange. Begin with a slip knot. And again in the corner. Insert your hook directly into that corner and create a slip stitch. Chain 3. And double crochet in that same chain 2 space. We'll double crochet at the top of each one of these stitches. Don't forget this first one. Might have to move your double crochets over to catch it. And double crochet in the next. And we'll double crochet at the top of each and every one of these double crochets. You get on over to the corner and it's the same as the previous row. 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets in that same chain 2 space. That is your repeat. I will meet you back at the end of the round. And then finishing off our last couple of double crochets brings us up to the corner where we'll create 2 double crochets, chain 2, and a slip stitch at the top of that beginning chain 3. We'll change colors here. And our last row will be the darkest color choice. Begin with a slip knot, and in the corner place a slip stitch and chain 3. Double crochet in that same chain 2 space. Chain 2 at the top of the first chain 2 of this round.
Double crochet
at the top of every double crochet all around in the corner, placing 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets. This round is exactly like the previous round. I will meet back up with you when we're finished.
My apologies here. You need to place 2 double crochets plus a chain 2 here, and then a slip stitch into the 3rd chain of the beginning chain 3.
And that finishes up our last round. Cut off your work and tie it off.
Thank you so much for joining me. And here's our finished square.